Welcome to the assembly and setup of the C-147B Paladin. Our first process will be to remove the styrofoam casing which the C-147 is packed in. You'll notice that it comes in 3 separate containers. Each one contains a key part. First is the main part of the fuselage. Second will contain the tail section with 2 wing tips, left and right, at the battery and optional equipment which we're going to talk about. Finally, we have the transmitter, we have the battery charger, and we have the vertical stabilizer and rudder assembly. So let's look at it laid out on the table. We have our instructions, our rudder or vertical fin, tail section, or what we refer to as empennage, the right wing panel, which snaps in, left wing panel, same process. Next, we're looking at the main fuselage and landing gear and engine nacelles. We have a package which will contain an extra nose wheel and repair tape if needed during flight, battery and the bag that it came in, wall plug and charger, transmitter. Each part we will go into better detail. The first thing we want to do is connect the 2 halves of the fuselage together. But our first step is to connect the elevator servo. What you're seeing here is plugging the male and female connector together, pressing securely, and also paying attention to the wires and how they're hooked up. We're going to zoom in here so that you can take a good look because they're different colors. You'll notice the white and the orange go together and the black and the brown are connected together. Keep this in mind when connecting the connectors. Our next process is going to get the tail section assembled to the main fuselage. First, what I'd like to do is a test fit. This way here I make sure that everything is aligned, the wires are pushed in nice and tight, and you'll notice I'm using my finger to make sure all those wire connectors are pushed inside. Once I push it together and verify it's a good fit, now I'm ready for my assembly process. And this is extremely easy. What we're going to do is this. Basically, we're going to remove a piece of adhesive tape on the back of the main fuselage. And what you will do is gently peel away the tape. Once it's completely removed, you'll rip it so that you can remove it from the wire assembly. Here's the tricky part. Make sure your wire is pushed all the way in. Grab the tail section, align it. There's a keyway. You can't mess this up. And push hard. Once it's firmly secure, that is one tight fit. Now, we're going to mount the rudder. We're going to do a test fit. We always do a test fit first. Pull it off, and we're going to remove the backing. If you find you can't get hold of it, try it from the other end. Either side will be easy enough to get your finger in there and remove the double-sided tape. Once the tape is removed, slide it so the front aligns, and then just push it straight down nice and snug. Basically, you're about 90% done with your aircraft. We have our square between the rudder and the elevator assembly itself, and our next process is going to put the wing panels on. You'll notice I take care into just gently aligning this. It's very easy to do. From the bottom, gently slide it up, and let me zoom in so you can see how we're going to finish the process. Once it's slid in very easily, I'm going to take my thumb and my hand and gently push, and it snaps into place. That's all there is to it. It is nice and secure. Same process on the other side. I'm going to rotate the plane so we get one more look at it here. Again, we're going to take the wing panel itself, slide it up from the bottom. So you're just going to line it gently. It fits in perfectly. Gently move it up nice and easy. Take our thumbs now, and we're going to press on the bottom and the top, and it'll slide right into place. This is very easy. Just snaps. Done. Okay. Let's take a look at what we've done so far. Both wing panels are on, your rudder is in, and your body is connected. We're going to turn it upside down now, remove the battery cover, and at this point we're going to do a test fit to put our lithium polymer battery in. The red connector has a keyway. It can only go in one direction. Push it in nice and secure. Make sure it's in nice and tight. Our next process will be to take the battery itself, and it fits within this cavity. So take it, press it all the way down. I'll back out here. Take the lid, the cover, it snaps in. Once it's snapped in place, the assembly process is done. Alright, let's take a look at a few more things we need to be aware of. Removing the battery. Gingerly pull her back out. Grab either end of the connector plug and disconnect. When not flying, always have the battery removed from this aircraft. Always replace your cover and line it. Press it in so it locks in the holding assembly part. Okay, let's take a look at the next part. How we charge it. We plug our wall connector into our charger. There are two connectors for a 2 or 3 cell battery. Your connector is a 3 cell, so it connects directly in to the 3 cell connector, and I will zoom in to show you how that looks. What you're going to notice is the black wire is to the left, then we follow the harness all the way across. It can only go in one way. It's a keyway fit, and that will charge your battery setup. When the battery is connected to the wall outlet, all lights will be lit. When we're fully charged, only the green will be. We're going to remove the back of the transmitter. Press down and insert 4 AA batteries. Paying careful attention to how you place them in there. They are in series, so it goes positive to negative. Reconnect the back panel, turn your transmitter over, put the on switch up, your lights will sequence back and forth, and we're good to go. In our next process, what we're going to show you is the complete assembly. 1. Remove the battery pack lid. 2. Align your battery with the keyway on the red connector. Make sure it's in nice and tight. Push your battery forward and down in the back so it completely fits within the cavity. Next process, put your lid cover back on, press firmly, it'll snap in place. Now we're going to check our assembly process. With the transmitter turned on, we'll move the right stick up and down, and our elevator will move in accordance with that. Second, we're going to check our throttle assembly. We'll move the left stick forward and verify that the throttle engages. We will go into great detail on how to operate the transmitter and all the control surfaces in our next video. Our next phase we're going to look at is our directional control. This airplane has a unique characteristic for directional control. There's no moving surfaces, but there's the inboard engines which we are going to control independently, and we refer to that as asymmetrical thrust. So let's take a look at its complete function and how to steer the aircraft when it's in the air. Your stick on the left is your throttle. If we move the throttle up, both engines will advance simultaneously. Once in flight, we then need to be able to control the plane to the right or to the left. We do that by either adding or taking away power from either engine. So in flight, if we want to make a turn to the left, we'll move the stick, our ailerons, to the left. The right engine will accelerate more and the left engine will decelerate. If we want to move to the right, we move our stick to the right. The left engine accelerates and the right engine decelerates, so that gives us our right turn. But here's the trick in flying this aircraft. Once you take off, you give full throttle. After full throttle, come back to between 3/4 and half. Why are we doing that?
Well, what that'll do is give you more asymmetrical thrust or more power to turn left or right. So as soon as you launch your aircraft, you're at full power, come back to 3/4 power, and then you can control your stick left and right. That'll control your airplane to the right or to the left. One other note, if you shut the power completely off, you have no control of direction other than pitch. So you always have to fly with minimal power. But if you bring it back to 0 power, you'll lose your directional control.